Any questions?
Harlon, I guess first of all, you talked this week about discipline and the need to clean everything up, and obviously what you saw in the field. I guess how do you explain that and just the errors all around?
No doubt about it. So, 11 penalties last week, 6 this week. So that's better, but not what we want. You can't play in this league, any team in this league, and have that many penalties and turnovers. The turnovers got us also. From my understanding, we led in yards and time of possession and all that kind of stuff, but those are just stats that, obviously don't mean as much as the turnovers and the penalties. So we will continue. I said discipline is going to be the word for the rest of the year. I said that earlier this week, and we're going to continue to talk about it and preach it and push it. And so till eventually we're going to get it, and you're going to see the results very, very soon.
With those turnovers, can you talk about how much pressure that puts on a defense, particularly out of the gate when they're having to battle short field like that right away?
As we know, on defense, you got to go out there and like we said, put the fire out all the time. A lot of times, not a lot, just depending on what this game or what have you. Been on a lot of staffs with Michigan State defense, and even as a player, to be honest with you, where it's Michigan State defense. We had to go out and play. Nobody cares what the situation is, short field, big, whatever it is. We got to go out there and compete and play like Spartan dogs, and that is the mindset. So you're not looking at the other side of the ball saying, "Come on," all this kind of stuff. You go out there and compete. It's another chance to go out and play the game that you love and compete. So that's how we talk to the guys about it, and they'll continue to do that. I was encouraged by the defense in the second half, very encouraged, and I kept telling them on the sideline, I said, "That's defense. That's defense." They come off to the sideline, I said, "That's defense right there. We're playing defense now." So that was encouraging.
H, last week, Washington was in another world with its dominance. Today, do you feel that was a game that Maryland won, or was that a game that Michigan State lost with the errors?
It was a combination of the both, because of the two. Excuse me. They don't get me wrong; they're a good team. They did some things to put themselves in the position to win by creating turnovers and all those things. At the same time, we helped them. But they're a good team. They help themselves by, sometimes people have opportunities to make plays, like catching an interception, and they drop them or something like that. They were making the plays, so you can't just say us, was it them beating us or us beating ourselves? It was a combination of the two.
You see that as a winnable game with an ugly score?
Absolutely, no doubt in my mind. And I was believing it all the way to the end. I mean, till it just got out of hand at that one point. But I thought we could, come back and get them.
Harlon, I'm just wondering, when you guys went from Noah to Caden, was that about performance, or was Noah hurt or a little banged up there?
Well, not so much performance, more so just try to get a spark. Let's try to find another spark, try to spark it and do it that way. And but Noah's our quarterback. He's our guy. And now there's some changes that I don't know about, and I do know about it. So he's our guy. And sometimes you're just trying to find a spark and see if you can find something to help us get going. And that's what that was about, more than anything.
What sort of feedback were you getting about Noah with it? He had a couple turnovers, and just where was he at sort of mentally and handling how that thing unfolded?
Right. Coach Johnson, he kept saying, yeah, let's stick with him. Let's go with him. He's our guy. You got to be careful with that stuff. If you pulling guys, nobody's perfect, first of all. And so, the guy has worked his butt off to get in that position. It was a competition all summer long to be the guy, and he's our guy. So you don't just run from him after, a game or two where he's not playing the way he wants to or we want him to. But he's our guy. He's a really good player, and he's going to get better from it.
Hey, Harlon. I was wondering, with real quick, any update on Jacoby? We didn't, obviously didn't see him today.
Day to day.
Okay. I was wondering, you had two true freshmen making starts today with Jordan and Chance, and they obviously went after Chance plenty. I guess, what do you think of their performance and how they?
Yeah, I thought they did well today for a freshman. Chance had some deep balls thrown up and was there, didn't panic. He's a talented young man, and Jordan also ran around, was hitting people. A very smart young man. He understands the system, so the future is bright with those two guys. Really, really good football players.
Matt's behind you there.
Coach, no such thing as moral victories, but you talked about the penalties, you cut those in half. How do you cut the turnovers down?
Well, the kind that we had. So we had a couple fumbles and a couple, 3 interceptions. And so, exactly. You got to value the football. You got to value the football. And we do ball security almost every day with the offense. Matter of fact, the offense even started teaching the defense how to do it during summer camp. Because we were teaching them tackling. So ball security, high and tight. And so, as far as the fumbles are concerned, high and tight. The interceptions, I'm sure Coach Johnson get them better at, just understanding. Hey, you don't have to make the hero play, so to speak. You can just throw it away, get it out your hands, and you understand those guys are competitive. They want to win. They're trying to do the right thing. So just trying to make plays and doing their job. So it's kind of like, why don't you throw it? Oh, well, that's a bad throw, So they're out there competing their butts off trying to win. And how you correct it is, hey, just understand, hey, just get rid of it. We'll live to see another day. I think that's one of the ways anyhow.
5-1 in takeaways. That almost impossible to win a game like that. What'd you see on the 2 drop deep balls? Looked like they were thrown right on the spot, and also on their fake punt when it just completely broke
Right.
down.
Yes, that's a good question. So the deep balls, I had the angle I had at the end of watching the film. I forget, I think it was at Montoya. I forget who it was. Well, the DB might have got his hand in at the last second. It was almost a good play by him, one of them. But the other one, we just got to look it in. We got to look it in and hold on to the ball. It's concentration, see it all the way into your hands and then tuck it away. As far as the fake punt, there must have been something on film that they saw. I'll end up talking with Coach Ells and see, what that was about. Because we normally have somebody that's in position to handle that type of stuff. So I don't know. We have to watch it, and I'll be able to give you a better answer after watching the film.
Harlon, obviously it didn't look like effort was an issue at all. They were playing hard to the end. But as the uncertainty grows, how do you keep them mentally involved, emotionally involved with the team in the game?
Well, we have a team of competitors, and so when you're a competitor, you always are trying to get better and to right the ship, so to speak. I asked them in there, now is there anybody that feel like hey man, this is over, I'm out of here. I said you can raise your hand and no love lost, and then you can move on. No, it's no problem. Nobody raised their hand. So that's a good sign. And then other guys repeated it, say, hey man, just what he said. If anybody feel like we can't get it done and get this thing turned around, go ahead and walk and leave. We like that better than guys sticking around and then whining and complaining. So nobody raised their hand. So competitors gonna compete, and I told them I hate losing. And so we're gonna do whatever we can and whatever we have to get in the win column. And it's gonna start with discipline, like I've been saying.
Harlon, I was going to kind of go off that as well. I'm just wondering what you saw, I guess, earlier pregame today or even throughout the week in terms of the spirit of the fight from this team. I think after last week and just everything that's gone on around the program, there was a question of would this team sort of show up, and you say the competitors. What did you see from those guys to know that coming into this game that